Hello everyone, I am Monalisha Padhi. I am a legal intern at LEXIS and Company, and I am a third year student of Bharati Vidyapeeth New Law College, Pune. And today's video would be about a case comment on Abhishek Chauhan versus State of Madhya Pradesh. I would be discussing the court's views on this case. So the facts of the cases are: a single judge bench of Madhya Pradesh High Court rejected the bail plea of the accused applicant before the court has been charged with an offensive punishment under Section 376, 376 Clause 2, 366 of the IPC, as well as Section 355 Clause 1 and 6 of the Prevention of Children from Sexual Act 2012. It was stated that he raped the prosecutrix under the pretext of marriage, but his counsel maintained that the accused victim was not a minor at the time of the alleged crime and that he was a consenting past participant. It was also claimed that the girl's parents were opposed to their marriage, and since the applicant and the prosecutrix are of different religion, the applicant is a Hindu and the prosecutrix is a Muslim, so he had been implicated in this case. The state, on the other hand, claimed that he frequently raped the prosecutrix under the false promise of marriage under October 2018, and then refused to marry her by stating that his marriage was arranged with someone else. After that, when he told the victim that he was getting married to someone else, the prosecutrix tried to commit suicide by consuming phenyl, but fortunately she was saved. The issues raised in the case were whether sexual intercourse under the false pretext of marriage constituted rape, and whether consent of the prosecutrix obtained under the misconception of fact stated under the section 90 of the IPC. So court observed in this case, after reviewing the records, the court decided that it was not a case fit for granting bail because the applicant had evidently enticed the prosecutrix into a physical relationship under the pretext of marriage, despite being well aware of the fact that they were of different religions. This court held that, bearing a few exceptions, India is a conservative society and it has not yet reached such a level of civilization where unmarried girls, regardless of their religion, engaged in carnal activities with boys just for fun of it, unless the same is backed by some future promise, assurance of marriage, and that to prove her point, a victim must not have to resort to committing suicide, as in the past case. The MP High Court bench was also of the considered opinion that a boy who enters into a physical relationship with a lass must realize that his actions have consequences and should be prepared to face them, as it is the girl who is always on the receiving end, and she is the one who risks becoming pregnant, as well as social ostracism if the relationship is revealed. You cannot just plead the prosecutrix consent and laugh all the way to your house. The case before the Madhya Pradesh High Court examines consent and its intersections with sexuality, interreligious marriage, and violence. The court's comments during the bail hearing, on the other hand, differ from the customary procedures in court. The Supreme Court considered social conditions such as family obligations to be a valid reason to acquit the man in the landmark Dilip Singh vs. State of Bihar judgment. The fault lines were viewed in two ways: whether he had no intention of marrying the lady since inception, and whether he knew the consent is provided due to the promise to marry. When the Supreme Court in Dilip Singh found that the accused's inability to overcome domestic opposition was a factor in his failure to maintain his marriage promises, it did not find that he intended to do so. The Madhya Pradesh High Court, on the other hand, provides no insight into the context of the accused in the case of Abhishek Chauhan, nor a legal age of his guilty mentality or lack thereof. While the judgment, we would have known the violence of so-called consensual relationship and conspicuous violence of the familial and social system if the Supreme Court had given the woman a platform to tell her experience. We'll finally conclude with a conclusion. While a murderer damages the physical body of the victim, a rapist degrades and defines the soul of a vulnerable woman, as the Honorable Supreme Court of India and State Court have observed in a number of rulings. Rape reduces a woman into an animal by shattering the very foundation of her being. A rape victim cannot be considered unaccomplished in any way. Rape leaves an indelible mark on the victim's life. Rape is a crime against a society that infringes on the victim's human rights. Rape, as the most despised crime, is a devastating blow to a woman's greatest honor and offends both her esteem and dignity. Rape has a long term impact on victims' life. However, in most cases, sexual assault has devastating implications not only for the victim but also for the victim's family. In a patriarchal society like India, where women have a poor social position, those close to the victim, particularly family members, are also impacted by unfavorable societal reactions. Sexual abuse victim suffers from a variety of physical and psychological issues. The victim and a family member suffer the most pain and shame as a result of rape. Thank you for today. That's all for the topic. Please like and comment the video. Thank you.